This is Nativerezmedia, your place for opinionated tech news, reviews, and entertainment. And today we'll be taking a look at the Acer Nitro 5. This is the Best Buy edition. I was in the market to get a new laptop, and because I have a pretty beefy desktop gaming PC over there, 3080 Ryzen 5800X, I didn't want to go too high, but I didn't want to go too low either. So I was kind of, looking for something, I guess, budget mid-grade or whatever. So this one was one that came across my desk here. The Nitro 5 is, I would say, a low tier when it comes to the graphics processing power, but mid tier when it comes to, or mid or high tier when it comes to the CPU. I'll go over the specs later on in the video. I'll tell you what comes in the box. I'm going to go over the ergonomics and the way this laptop looks. I will later on be comparing this to the Lenovo Legion 5 as well, because I also got that one. I purchased that one to compare it to. I also had a Legion 5, but broke it. So I had the older Legion 5 version, and I'm planning on upgrading to the newer one. So I broke the screen on it. So the infamous, you close the screen and you hear that crack. But anyways, starting off, we're going to go over what comes in the box. Of course, you get this laptop here. This is the box here. This is the Acer Nitro box. Nice and thin there. Not too big, not too heavy. But of course, you got your packaging foam. You got your charger over there that came in this little box here. And then you have some manuals and pamphlets and things like that. This did come with what I believe is kind of like a protection sheath. There it is. So came with this over the keyboard like that, and it came with just like a little protection cloth that you can put over the laptop, and you can keep this. It's nice, soft if you store your laptop away, or if you don't have anything to put your laptop in for the first few days that you have it. You have your warranty manual, things like that. I haven't even opened this up. I don't even know what this is. Don't plan on opening it up because I don't need it if it's a warranty, because if I take it back, I just want everything to still be in the same package in there. And that is it. So I'm going to toss that off to the side. All right, there is a fly flying around here that is bothering me. I was barbecuing the other day for the holiday and left my screen door open. One got in here and it's just annoying. Now we're going to jump into the tech specs on this. I haven't written down here because I know most of them off the top of my head, but I don't want to really miss anything. And later on in the review, I'll do a little bit of benchmarking, like playing a game, things like that. But I'm not going to jump into anything deep, like too much into the thermals. I will tell you that this one does get a little warm, and I'll go over that. But that's about it. All right, so the screen on this is a 1080p IPS panel. It's 144 hertz. It gets up to about 300 nits. I think the specs say it's only 250. I'm not sure, but it gets fairly bright. So for me, or for someone who does not plan on being out in the sun a whole lot, this should get you by as far as brightness. It's a 16 by 9 aspect ratio screen. So it does have a nice little chin on the bottom of this laptop. It's 64% of the sRGB color gamut and 45% of the DCI P3 color gamut. So 64%, so it's kind of low. So if you're one of those people that are trying to do any kind of photo editing, movie, video, things like that, this may not be the laptop for you. I, right off the bat, when I opened it up, looked at the screen, was able, by looking at the bar at the bottom, on Windows 11, because it does have Windows 11 Home installed, I was able to see that the color is slightly off. You might be able to go into the settings and adjust it. I haven't delved into that at all because I wanted to compare it right out the box with my Lenovo Legion. The CPU in here is an Intel Core i5-12500H with 12 total cores, of course, 4 performance cores and 8 efficient cores. It has 16 threads. The max turbo on those performance cores is 4.5 gigahertz, and the max turbo on the efficient cores 3.3 gigahertz. gigahertz there. And this does come with integrated graphics. It comes with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 3200, which is nice for a budget gaming laptop. Most of them only come with 8. My Lenovo Legion did, and I'll be reviewing that as well. This has a 57.5 watt hour battery. Charging doesn't take too long. It does do quick charging with the included 180 watts power brick over here. I'll unplug it real quick and show you that. So this is the power brick. Not too big, not too small. A lot smaller than my Lenovo Legion one. And yeah, and the output on here is, 19.5 volts, 9.23 amps, which I think if you do the math on that, that comes up to about 180 watts there. This laptop has Wi-Fi 6 installed, and it weighs about 5.5 pounds, so not too light. I'll be going over the ports here. Let me get this power connector disconnected there. So on the side, you have 2 USB-C 3.0 plugs there, and then you have your charging and power indicator on the side. So when you plug this up, you can see that this laptop is on. So one shows that it's on and it's illuminated, and one shows when it is charging. The charging one is off. So if I plug in this charging plug there, yep, it should come on. Oh, well, would help if I plugged it back up. Yeah. There we go. And yep, it's on. So, and on the back here, you have your charging port, Thunderbolt 4 connector there, USB-C. And then you have your HDMI cable. And coming over to this side, you have an Ethernet port, you have a USB 3.0 port, and a combo headphone mic jack there. And that is pretty much it for the ins and outs on this laptop. Up top, you have a 720p webcam. It's decent, nothing to write home to mom about, but it does good with taking video, and the audio from the mic is also decent as well. And I'll show you that. And this is the camera and the internal mic on the Acer Nitro 5. Optimal lighting condition, of course. How does it look? How does it sound? Overall, this laptop has a $999 price tag on Best Buy right now today. Yep. And that is it when it comes to some of the specs. Now, I'm going to be going over the laptop itself, look, feel, things like that, and giving you my opinion on it. And if it's, worth your buy, depending on how much money you have. This thing is made entirely of plastic, top, bottom, all around. On the bottom here, you have your vents for the intake. And then on the back, you have 2 exhaust vents, and there's exhaust vents on the sides. The exhaust that comes out of this thing, it does get a nice and warm there. While playing games, the fans do ramp up. They do get reasonably loud. So if you're going to be somewhere like in a cafe playing games, you're probably going to bother your neighbors and things like that if they don't have headphones on. But hey, that is something that they're just going to have to deal with. This does get nice and warm here, so idling right now, it's not doing too bad for some reason. I don't know what it is today. I'm at 47 degrees on the CPU, 43 degrees Celsius on the GPU right now. Yesterday when I was running this thing, it was, I don't know, for some reason just over the top when it comes to heat. So if you play a game and then you come off that game, of course that heat is going to linger. It doesn't go away. But today, I don't know, for some reason, it seems like it's a lot more stable when it comes to that heat. I haven't played any intensive games at all. It does get up into the 90 C, almost hundreds when you are playing games on that CPU. So if that's something that scares you, keep that in mind. But laptops do get a little bit more warm than desktop PCs. So hey, it is what it is. Now, something I don't like about this. Right now, I'm looking at the task manager. I have it pulled up, and the memory on this is at 59%. That's the usage. That's with Google Chrome open. Of course, Google Chrome is power hungry. But even without Google Chrome open, I'd be at 45 and 50% usage of the memory. That's that 16 gigabytes of onboard RAM. That is just like ridiculous. Like, why is it using so much just at idle? And it just throws me off. The keyboard on this laptop gets nice and bright. There's different color levels that you can set it to. It has 4-zone RGB on it, and you can go in on NitroSense, which is the inbuilt app to monitor the fan speeds and the temperatures of your CPU and GPU. You go into there, you click on the keyboard, you can set it to static, and then you will have your 4 zones where you can change each zone to a separate color, or you can change them all to the same color, or you set it to dynamic, and that's where you can set your breathing, your effects, your wave effects, zoom effects, and the speed and things like that. And you can change colors and input your own specified colors into this palette to where you will have your own colors set up. You can also set the brightness from here. You can set it to the lowest brightness or the highest brightness with a slider. So it's fairly simple and intuitive, and I actually like it. And the trackpad position on here, it's slightly skewed to the left a little bit. So if you are using your WASD keys and gaming, things like that, you want to disable this trackpad. The Lenovo Legion is the same way. Trackpad isn't centered, and it kind of gets in the way if you are gaming. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, the feel of this trackpad, it's nice and smooth, but it does feel jittery sometimes. If I tap it, you can kind of hear a little vibration there on both sides. It's nice and clicky, but I don't know. Compared to other trackpads that I've used in the past, this one feels a little bit more cheap. The laptop has decent rubber grips, and you know, it'll sit there. The screen itself is nice and sturdy. You can open it with one hand, have it set there. It doesn't jiggle too much. If you're typing while the webcam is on, you're going to see a little bit of a screen jiggle there. There's not a lot of screen flex if you are wobbling this thing around. It's nice and sturdy there. Not too bad when it comes to that, but I mean, the screen that's in here, I would definitely opt for an upgraded screen if that's something that you need. Another tidbit here, this does have the NitroSense key here, which if you press that, it opens up the NitroSense app that Acer has installed on its laptops. On the keypad here, only thing it did was, I believe it shortened the plus sign. On other laptops, the plus sign's a little bit bigger. So what happened was when they installed this, it moved the numlock key over and moved the slash and the times key over a little bit there, or the multiplication key, whatever you want to call it, over, and it moved the minus sign down, it moved the plus sign. So it kind of just scrunched them down in a little bit, which made room for that NitroSense key there. Not a bad thing. Moving over to the brightness adjustment, you have your function key on the arrow left, it'll get dim. Function key, arrow right, it gets bright. You have your audio on the arrow keys as well. Function up, gets loud. Function down, it gets dim. Oh, so simple there. All right, I wanted you to hear the audio on these speakers real quick, so I'm gonna go to my page and just play a quick little video here, my last video, the JQ J100s there, and I'm gonna turn the audio all the way up.
And today I'll be bringing you a review of the G Pro gaming headset. This set was sent out to me by Jiku to do a review on, but
that's it. So I don't know if you can hear that from the mic. The speakers are on the bottom here. One on the left, one on the right. They don't get super loud. Let's go to some Linus Tech Tips, see if they get any louder. Same loudness. So don't expect the speakers to do anything great. They will get you by if you just need to hear something. Put on a pair of Bluetooth headphones or headset and keep it moving. So the gaming on this laptop, it's adequate. This is a gaming laptop, of course, so I wanted to go over that a little bit. This has a 3050 Ti installed, which is less than a 1660 Ti, if I'm not mistaken, of yesteryear, but it does get the job done when gaming. You want to go into NVIDIA and disable the integrated graphics. So basically just use the GPU, the discrete graphics card, so that when you're gaming, it doesn't kind of mess with the gaming and the frame rate. So I did that for Battlefield 2042. It does get hot, as you will see, and I will pull up the gaming for that as well. I think the frame rates were anywhere from 60 to 70, maybe even up to 80 in some parts while playing Battlefield. And this is with low settings and a little bit of medium mixed in there. So nothing, that's extravagant. But when playing on this, even with low settings, the game still looks good. Honestly, if I went to high or ultra, I could not really tell the difference on this laptop screen. If you were going to be putting this up on a 30-inch or 40-inch screen, maybe you'll be able to tell the difference. But on this laptop screen, the low settings get you by just fine with adequate frames. Now, playing on a map where you have to use the CPU and then playing on a map where it's just AI bots and going in there, the frames will be a little bit different. The AI bot map is not as, I guess, congested when using the CPU, so you get more frames. But then when you jump over into a game online playing against 64 different players or 63 different players, the frames will go down a little bit there, but not too much to where you can't still get some kills in and enjoy the gameplay. And I also benchmarked Far Cry New Dawn with the inbuilt gaming benchmark. It did pretty good. I think it was in the hundreds when it comes to the frames per second. And that is on high settings with this laptop. So if you need to see any more benchmarks using this laptop or anything, what are they doing out there? They are working on something outside. All right, and that concludes my overlook of the Nitro. Like I said, I'm going to be comparing this to the Legion 5 that I purchased recently from Best Buy as well here in a future video. Overall, what I think about this laptop, it's decent. The 64% sRGB color gamut kind of throws me off, especially for what I do. Even if I'm on the go, I need something that's going to be a little bit more precise. The build of this, it's nice. It's big. It doesn't even fit into my book bag that I reviewed earlier for traveling and my camera equipment, things like that. But my not Acer, but my Lenovo Legion does. And so that's another thing that kind of throws this off. The good things, the pluses, it does come with 16 gigabytes of RAM. It has a 3050, which is nice. It's, reasonably priced, I would say. I think I caught this on sale for $850. Right now it's $999. So for someone that's looking for something that has a nice, decent keyboard with some RGB and it's just solid on the back, it doesn't have all that kind of gaming stuff. So if you go out somewhere, they toned it down, because I've owned an Acer Nitro in the past and it had a whole bunch of red all around it, red keyboard. I didn't like any of that. So that's what made me gravitate towards this, to at least take a look at it, because they changed up the keyboard. They got rid of a lot of that redness. So not a bad laptop in the grand scheme of things. It's decent. Stay tuned for my look at the Lenovo Legion 5. I'll be doing that here soon as well. Let me posting that right behind this one, and then I'll compare them head to head there. If that's something that you're interested in, like, sub, things like that. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching this video. Peace out.